Global markets are in a bit of a holding pattern as investors wait for the results of midterm elections in the U.S. The battle for control of both houses of Congress is being seen as a referendum on President Joe Biden and his economic policies. In Asia, stocks in Japan and China are both slightly lower. South Korean equities are in the green. Over in Europe, shares are in the red at the start of trading. Meanwhile, the euro continues to surge against the U.S. dollar and is back up above parity with the greenback. In energy markets, oil was down 2% overnight amid uncertainty over the continuity of economic policies in Washington.
There is such a strong link between how people rank the economy in terms of importance and how they feel about Republican candidates. And a lot of people are really willing to forgive a lot of statements that they don't agree with or positions that they don't like if they think that their representative will make the economy better.
Now let's go to Naeem Aslam at AvaTrade in London. He'll give us more analysis. Thank you for joining the program and for your time, Naeem. Now, can I just start with the Republicans possibly taking the House in Washington? What does more Republican power in the U.S. Capitol mean for the Biden administration and his economic policies?
Sure. Thanks for having me as always. Look, there are two important aspects that we've got to be focusing on. Number one is the fiscal spending, which you have touched right on the top of your show. Like, that means there's more coherent action and the more timely action in terms of what the country really needs, as the country is very much moving towards a potential recession, which can prolong over a year or so, given how inflation is very much trending in the United States and given how interest rates are moving in the United States. And number two, and more importantly, is the geopolitical situation, the relationships the United States hold with its allies, the position the dollar holds in the whole world as a reserve currency. I think so that both of these two important aspects, the political side and of course the fiscal sides, are going to be very much in focus. And having more control of the House and the Congress and the Senate really makes things a lot more easier for them to get it passed.
Right. So Republicans are also seen as the more business-friendly side of the aisle in D.C. What does that mean for investors?
But look, whether they are, one thing is very clear when it comes to the U.S. markets under the Biden administration for this particular year, and that is the U.S. economy isn't really performing that well. The policies, the fiscal policies which were implemented by Biden administration has led to the situation where we are today, and that is its inflation sitting near 40 years high. Of course, the predecessor of Biden administration before that, I mean, Trump administration also fueled some of those concerns as well. But yes, generically speaking, you are absolutely correct. Republican Party is more positive for the S&P 500 index, even when you are actually likely to see a recession.
What are the chances of more bipartisanship in Washington, and that could possibly help ease the pain of an upcoming economic recession in the world's largest economy?
I think, like, the United States is still in a strong position in comparison to the rest of the world when it comes to those economic conditions, because the data is still somewhat more stronger than what we have, especially in the United Kingdom, in the UK, or of course in Europe. But I think the focus really from myself and from an investments perspective is that how the relationship is going to be between Washington and Beijing, how the relationship is going to be between Washington and Saudi Arabia. These are the important factors that investors would like to see a little bit more clarity and a bit more uncertainty on these.
All right, Naeem Aslam at AvaTrade in London. Thank you for joining the program.